The group was absolutely floored by what they heard about Lin. One person just couldn't believe their ears, shouting out, "Wait, hold on. It's totally absurd to claim Lin challenged the Great Earth Centipede all by himself." Someone else wondered if the whole story was even real. They dismissed it as nothing more than an exaggerated boast. Everyone else chimed in, agreeing, "It's impossible to believe such a wild tale, no matter how hard anyone tries to convince us." As they argued, someone quietly mused to themselves, if anyone else had faced the Great Earth Centipede at only level 30, they wouldn't have stood a ghost of a chance. They'd have walked straight into their doom. As the intense conversation went on, their disbelief only intensified. One person remembered how, at first, they thought Lin's decision to enter the eternal trial battlefield was nothing short of suicidal. But when Lin acquired the powerful origin rune, a high-level demon immediately targeted him. The group had assumed Lin would desperately need their protection, but to their utter astonishment, Lin didn't require any help at all. Instead, he turned the entire battlefield into his personal arena. His actions made him a direct threat, not just to the abyssal demons, but also to the mighty Dragon Clan professionals. Another person chimed in, adding, Lin had held out for an incredible 10 days. After obtaining that origin rune, it was a feat that seemed almost beyond belief, beyond human comprehension. The group slowly began to agree that the entire story sounded like a myth or a legend, something too unbelievable to be true. Then, in the middle of their heated discussion, someone excitedly cut in. They revealed their empire had just produced a level 37 divine general, the youngest in history. This news completely stunned everyone around the fire. Another person, still highly skeptical, asked if such a coincidence could even be real. "What's the name of this divine general?" they demanded. The first person hesitated for a moment before finally answering. "It sounds like Lin." The group was utterly shocked. The name Lin caused an uproar. One person exclaimed that Lin really was the one they had been talking about all along. Another, still struggling to process the revelation, muttered "divine general" under their breath, as though saying it repeatedly might help them believe it. The realization hit hard. Lin had truly risen to such an incredible status. News of Lin's achievement spread quickly throughout the empire in the city. A couple walking along the streets discussed the incredible story. They marveled at how someone so young had reached such a high rank, something that had never happened before in history. Elsewhere, a group of warriors expressed their amazement, saying that Lin's power at level 37 was strong enough to directly challenge the Demon King himself. The Empire's name soon resonated far and wide, with people from all regions hearing about Lin's success and marveling at the Empire's growing strength. Amid all the excitement, two older men, Old Meng and Old Bai, sat quietly. Old Meng, sipping his tea, wondered aloud if anyone planned to intervene in the rising praise for Lin. He worried that if this continued, the endless compliments might overwhelm Lin and create unrealistic expectations. Old Bai, sitting calmly nearby, explained that the spreading rumors were no accident. He admitted he allowed the hype to grow intentionally. Lin has been so busy studying at the Creation Academy, Old Bai said, he hasn't even noticed what's happening around him. Still, Old Meng wasn't entirely convinced. He asked if someone might be secretly plotting against Lin. Old Bai nodded and confirmed his suspicion. Yes, he said, there are people scheming behind the scenes, but the rumors serve a purpose. By making Lin's reputation so grand, it becomes much harder for enemies to target him. Directly, they'll think twice before acting. Old Bai's face instantly grew grim. He then revealed that certain schemers, people he scathingly called rats, were now crawling out from their holes. They had reappeared. He seemed frustrated, but incredibly determined. He vowed to outwit them, declaring, if they want to play games, I'll handle them my own way. He declared with conviction. Meanwhile, while all this drama unfolded, Lin kept his nose buried in his studies. Back at the Creation Academy, he was utterly engrossed, delving deep into demon lore. He soon learned that demons are strictly ranked, based on their powerful bloodlines. and a rigid hierarchy. These rankings range from the lowliest ordinary demons to elite, then advanced demons, and finally, the mighty demon lords. But wait, there's more. Demons are also classified by levels: low level, mid-level, high level, top level, and at the very pinnacle, the terrifying Demon King. But as Lin continued to dig into his research, he also stumbled upon details about some truly unique types of demons that completely defied the standard categories. These included the dreaded abyssal demons, phantoms, and scorching abyssal flame spirits. Though undeniably rare, these unique demons wielded extraordinary abilities that made them incredibly perilous. Gently closing the book, Lin pondered everything he had just learned. The abyssal world he now understood was far more complex than he'd ever dared to imagine. Lin sat quietly in the library, staring intently at the thick book before him. The deeper he delved into demon lore, the more complicated and mind-boggling it all seemed. Frustrated, he scratched his head, trying to make sense of the mind-bending hierarchy of these formidable, otherworldly beings. He then realized that the two powerful demons he had fought earlier were, in fact, elite ranked. Their elite rank perfectly explained their incredible strength and why their battle had been so brutally difficult. As he continued to pore over the text, he stumbled upon knowledge of the highest-ranking demons, whose immense powers were said to rival ancient creatures, like the legendary Phoenix. A particular section of the book immediately grabbed Lin's attention. It detailed the 10 most formidable demon kings, beings in the abyss, often shrouded in absolute secrecy. Only 5 of these monstrous entities had ever been mentioned within human records. Among this elite group, one named Blaze Brightest, the Black Sky Demon King, ranked 4th. Lin was absolutely stunned to discover that this very Demon King was none other than the father of the Black Sky Demon Prince, an old adversary he'd previously faced. Lin found himself utterly fascinated by all this new information about Demon Kings. He discovered they could resurrect themselves through a terrifying process known as soul imprinting. This dark ability made them nearly impossible to slay permanently. However, the book also revealed a path to defeat them for good by slaying them relentlessly time and again, without ever allowing them to regenerate. With this crucial revelation, Lin felt a surge of confidence in his ability to finally take on these formidable foes. Determined to delve even deeper, Lin closed the book and carefully returned it to the shelf. He swiftly picked out another tome, eager to truly deepen his understanding of demons and the intricate workings of their world. He reminded himself that knowledge truly was power, and that it was absolutely essential to avoid being deceived by insidious tricks, like abyssal illusions in the future. A full month flew by, and Lin remained utterly engrossed in his intense studies. He spent countless hours hidden away in the academy library, absorbing every single detail he could possibly find. Then, one day, as he was deeply absorbed in reading, his intense focus was abruptly shattered by the sudden ringing of his communicator. It was the dean, urgently requesting Lin's immediate presence. The sheer urgency in the dean's voice suggested something truly serious had arisen. Meanwhile, in the academy's bustling corridors, students anxiously whispered among themselves about the dean's summons. Many speculated that the summons was specifically for Lin, given his rapidly growing reputation. Their guesses proved correct when Lin soon appeared, walking calmly, yet radiating a clear sense of purpose. His composed, unshakable demeanor only fueled the students' burning curiosity about this urgent meeting. Lin strides into the dean's office, where the elder quickly laid out the urgent situation. A bizarre anomaly has been detected, lurking near the Dragon Clan's eternal trial battlefield. This battlefield, once the ancient ruins of the Dragon Clan, have been repurposed into a stronghold for the clan's legacy. The dean then dropped a bombshell. The subrealm linked to the abyssal rift had begun radiating an unsettling energy, drawing the immediate attention of both the academy and the military forces. These subrealms, lingering remnants of the ancient Dragon Clan's power, were once believed to be completely dormant. But now the Dragon Clan had started strategically using them as key locations. The situation had drastically escalated as Dragon Clan forces unleashed devastating surprise attacks all across the dimensional battlefield, causing massive casualties among brave adventurers and seasoned soldiers alike. So Lin then questioned if it was possible to destroy this sub-realm from the outside. The Dean regretfully shook his head, explaining that the Dragon Clan had heavily fortified the sub-realm using specialized, powerful methods. It could now only be infiltrated and dismantled from within. The Dean then tasked Lin with leading a crucial mission to infiltrate the sub-realm and destroy it before the situation spirals out of control. Without a moment's hesitation, Lin agreed. He fully understood the immense gravity of the task and was prepared to face any dangers that lay ahead. Lin and the Dean quickly made their way to the entrance of the Abyssal Rift, where they were met by a formidable high-ranking knight, Colonel Cheng, a level 7 Holy Sword Knight and 3-star Colonel, respectfully greeted Lin, addressing him as General. Colonel Chung then briefed Lin and the Dean on the current situation. He explained that just 20 days earlier, a Dragon Clan squad had burst forth from the subrealm and launched a devastating surprise attack. Many of the defenders were lower-level professionals and were utterly caught off guard, resulting in incredibly heavy losses. Colonel Chung then outlined the intricate mission plan. A specialized team had been assembled to clear the subrealm's normal and nightmare difficulty levels. The ultimate goal? To plant a special, detonating artifact and obliterate the subrealm completely. Lin, however, had a bold idea. He suggested tackling the hell. Difficulty level solo. He exuded confidence in his abilities, certain he could handle the challenge. Chung was initially flabbergasted, reminding Lin pointedly that hell difficulty was strictly for warriors at level 35 and above. It was notorious for its extreme danger. The Dean, however, stepped in, vouching for Lin's immense strength and experience. Reluctantly, Chung agreed, but he sternly warned Lin to proceed with caution. As Lin stepped closer to the massive, glowing portal, he felt the intense energy radiating from it. This was his first time entering a subrealm below his level, and he couldn't help but feel a potent mix of excitement and determination. With one last glance at the Dean and Chung, Lin strode into the portal, ready to face the challenges that awaited him. He was utterly determined to uncover the subrealm's secrets, confront its dangers, and complete his mission.